Hello, church. Welcome to the pastor's update for Wednesday, August 12th. This is one day shy of exactly 5 months from when we all went into this basically lockdown from the initial bout of the coronavirus back on March 13th. Remember that Friday the 13th? We were just about to lead into our week of a last week of preparation for the Drowsy Chaperone play that I'm still in, but that's postponed. And then things have, it's been quite a 5 months since then. So 5 months in, here we are. A couple news and notes, nothing really too new, I guess. We continue to be in Heifer Project Month here at church, and it's going extremely well. So thankful for your generosity. Please do send those checks to the church. Just make sure that they're marked for the Heifer Project. And also just another thank you for the generosity of your giving, your pledges. Everyone's been so attentive to that, and we couldn't be more thankful. And obviously, it's very challenging right now to kind of make everything happen. And make our church community, our faith community, all the things that we do, make that all feel connected and seamless and still alive. And your generosity, your consistency with your giving has just been such a huge benefit to all of us as we continue to do whatever we can to be creative with reaching out and being the church together as we go forward. We just had our council meeting last night, and we did talk about how right now, we are continuing in this pattern of distant, virtual worship only for the time being. Probably could well be through the end of the year, but we will stay on top of it, and you will be kept astride of any changes to that. One thing we are working on or starting to talk about within the worship team, and that's Richard, Jane, and I primarily, is to think about having, maybe starting in October, maybe once a month, gathering in the parking lot around the celebration of communion, kind of a bring your own communion type deal. I just share that just to put it out there. We're working on something that we can do. People come up, maybe stay in their cars, but where we can at least be in proximity with each other to try on that sort of different way of being a church that's not just virtual. So more to come on that. So some of the stuff that I've been thinking of this week, like many of you, I think I was I felt this motivation in the first couple weeks of the pandemic, where I was staying active and staying connected to a regular regimen and a discipline of exercise, put it that way. There's lots of versions of exercise, but just basically of doing something, feeling motivated, staying in my body. And then all of a sudden, it just got hard. And like a lot of us, we start putting on some weight in certain parts of our body, and it can take a while to come out of that. And so it has taken a while, and I know a lot of people have been struggling with that. That's just reality, and how do you kind of get back in when you've kind of feel like you've been doing something, maybe you're just in a rut, and it's hard to get out of it. So for me, I basically just took a jump in the pool, just got in the pool. For me, swimming is something that I've kind of had a love-hate relationship with in my life, where I know it is one of the best activities, in terms of just overall health, inside and outside. And yet I have just never felt very good at it, or just able to stay committed to it. Just always have done it in fits and starts. I like it well enough, but I'm such a recreational doer of swimming. So lately I've been trying to approach it as a discipline. And I'm finding it to be pretty profound. It's a struggle. Like anything we set our minds to, like any pursuit we give ourselves to, I can swim for a certain amount of time. For me, it's 2 laps, so 100 yards in the pool. before I'm just like heart beating and just can't get oxygen and just feeling, whew. And I think one of the reasons I've had a love-hate relationship with swimming is because for a lot of times in my life, I'll do something like that and I'll go so far with it and I'll experience that sense of hitting the wall or not having oxygen or not having it come easily. And I'll just stop. I'll just elect to stop. Eventually, maybe I'll hang on for a couple weeks, but I will often just elect to stop and do something else, you know. But the truth is, I've noticed that pattern in myself, you know, to stop when it gets a little tough. So this has been then a discipline of getting in the water and staying with it. And it hasn't been that fun because it's a slow process of feeling kind of back in that sense of, I don't know, flow and connection with your own body and feeling like you're moving in a way that you're used to. You know, I'm still feeling stiff, I'm still feeling out of breath, I'm still feeling all those things, but man, after doing this for a couple weeks, I have to say that I'm starting to see incremental improvements. And I just want to lift that up as another, I don't know, little metaphor, a way of kind of approaching, you know, just finding that thing, whatever it is that you might be considering doing or maybe that you used to do, and kind of going after it again. Maybe just sort of finding your own way with whatever it is you choose to jump into the pool, you know, to get back in. And trust that, yeah, it's not going to necessarily be easy. And maybe you're going to feel sort of behind where you used to be, or just like, you know, all the different heaviness that can come with this, you know, when you jump back in. But trust that within yourself and within the discipline of actually doing it, of sort of letting go of some of the preconceptions, there'll be such a profound opening within you. It might be incremental. I get that. It might be slow and small, but it'll be profound because you'll start to see transformation. You'll start to see a blossoming. You'll start to maybe feel that reconnection to a part of yourself that maybe has been dormant or just hiding or just not being utilized. So I want to invite anyone out there, all of you, maybe if you haven't jumped in or if you have and you're struggling, you know, I'm in the struggle too. And that's where I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling this week. That sense of being in the struggle, but staying in it, not tapping out, So I found, you know, something that connects to this thought. It happens to be a quote from a number of years ago by Oprah Winfrey, and it had to do with when she was as an adult decided, you know what, I'm just gonna take some swimming lessons. She'd long been very afraid of the water. Hadn't really ever considered herself to be a swimmer, you know, most of her life. So she decided as an adult to take swimming lessons. And this is something that she wrote about after one of those lessons. This I've known forever is one of the great metaphors of life. Move with the flow. Don't fight the current. Resist nothing. Let life carry you. Don't try to carry it. Sometimes we just have to be reminded. A swim lesson did that for me. You know, whatever you're facing, whatever it is that you're diving into or that is rising like a flood in your life and might be threatening to swamp you right now, may you find a sense of release. Give yourself over to it. Let go. Don't hang on too tightly. But may you find within yourself the faith, the courage, the strength to not give up. May the Spirit of God May the presence and the peace of Christ give you what you need to keep on. Till we meet again, friends, stay in that peace. Amen.